This is a request from Oh My God, it's Becky, asking me how I made this background for this green screenshot. It's my YouTube logo thing, I guess, and I'm gonna show her how I made it in Photoshop. So, oh my God, Becky, pay attention. So I open up Photoshop CS4. You can get the trial online from Adobe.com, and you're gonna need CS4 for this to do the 3D part of this, or you're gonna have to draw it manually, which is kind of time consuming. So I just go File, New. Doesn't matter what size it is, just created it, okay? And then I select my brush tool, which is here, or click B on the keyboard, and then decrease the size with bracket. On your keyboard, you click brackets, or you can go up here and decrease the size, match your diameter, and make sure your hardness is all the way down. Just gives it like a blurry edge. And then I held down Shift till first I click, hold, or select black. I click Shift, or hold down, click Shift, and then drag it so it lets you create a straight line. So click, hold down Shift, and move it. And then I started drawing out the TSV123 or TSV part. So I click, hold down Shift, drag like that. Okay. Okay. Now for the sake of this tutorial, I'm not gonna really draw the whole thing out, but I'll just do this. Add this, I guess. Okay, so that's good. Then what I did was I got my eraser tool, sorry, and you can click E on the keyboard or over here, get it, and hold it down. Make sure you see only eraser tool, and then I held down Shift, and erased everything that I did not need, all the lines that I did not need. Okay, and I bracket again to decrease the size. I didn't need here at all. Okay, and here. All right. Then what I did was I colored this in with like a reddish color and added shadows. So I click W wand, or you can click it up here, and I selected the parts that I wanted to color. Now, what might happen with yours is if you click this and then click here, it'll change the selection. But what you can do is just click up here to add, and then you can click both of them. Okay. Go to the brush tool, B again, and now since it's selected, if I try to color outside of it and I click, nothing will happen. It only color inside, okay? Selection. So I selected like a reddish color. Actually, it was like this color. This was white, okay? Doesn't matter though. And then I made sure the opacity was all the way up, and I just colored it in, okay? Then I switched to my white. You can click these little arrows to switch, and decrease the opacity down to about 20, and then I colored in here a little bit. Okay, and then I selected my black, and then I made sure the opacity is still down and added the shadows in. Okay, now next thing I did was I clicked W and clicked first Control D to deselect everything, then then selected all the white, which is everything I don't need pretty much. Then went to my eraser tool, held down the mouse button, and clicked background eraser tool. And then I have the thing super huge, and then I just click and erase the whole background. Okay? Then deselect, and I'm good to go for now. Click V to click the pointer tool, and okay. Then go to File, New again, and we're going to create the background part now. Okay? And I'll drag it out there. Oops. Okay? And I can go here, brush, selected black, opacity all the way up, and then colored this in, right? Then what I did was I went to my opacity, decreased it down again to about 6. I had it, I think, 5 the time I did this. And then I started coloring in some white over here, okay, like halfway pretty much. And then to make it blend, I just went Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and increased the blur amount to a lot, so it pretty much blended it in for me. Okay, so it's like a nice blend, I guess. And I think I added a lot more white though, so it was more like that. And Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, increase the blur amount, and okay, so that's a pretty good gradient for now. Okay, V's, and to move it around. Then what I did was I got this layer, right, dragged it in, decrease the size a little bit, right? And now let's get to the 3D part. So after you decrease the size, you also have to check and confirm the transformation. So then what I did was I went 3D, new 3D postcard from layer. Okay, so now it's pretty much a 3D layer. Then I can click K or go over here and click this and move it around move it to like where I want it, like that. Okay, I'll click V, move this a little bit. Alright, and then now to get it to look 3D, this is what I did. I made sure this layer is selected. Okay, it's a 3D layer. Remember, it was a 3D layer. It doesn't have to be, but it's just what I did. Okay, and then I held down Alt and clicked the right arrow key whilst holding down Alt. And every time I click it, it'd make a copy of the layer over here. Okay, so I'd keep clicking Alt and arrow key or holding it down. Okay, like about there. That's good. Or you know, let's go a little bit more. All right, Alt and Option on Mac. Okay, and so I pretty much have it looking pretty 3D, but I haven't chosen the color yet. Alright, so then I made sure that the last layer copy, like because I told you it's copying it, is selected, and it went down to the first copy, not the original layer, just the copy, right? So I click on one of them, and then click on the last copy by holding down Shift, and click Control E or Command E, or you can go you can right click on it, and then click, Merge Layers, right? And so then what I did was I got the original writing, the original thing that we dragged in, put it on top of all the copies, layer on top, and then adjusted it into the right position so that it's there. Now I clicked on the copies, and to color them, I went Image, Adjustments, Hue Saturation, okay, and then I went Colorize, right there. Then I put it into like a bluish on mine, but like let's say I was around there. I decreased the saturation, and then it looked like that. Okay, and you can work with it like make it like a greenish color, whatever you want to do. Okay, and okay, so like let's that. Okay, and then click OK. So it's colored now. Now to make the reflection on the bottom over here, what I did was I was over here. I selected both this layer and this layer, which is the original writing which we dragged in, and the copies, okay, and I clicked Control E, Command E, whatever, right, and so now it's pretty much one big layer that I can move around, I can scale again, and do that, okay. So then what I did was I dragged it in, I copied it first, so I went Control, Duplicate Layer, okay, and then I dragged in the copy of it into a new layer, or you can drag it into the other layer or whatever. I'm gonna move this out of your way, okay? And okay, so then I got it right, and you have to make sure the background's gone. So if you make a new layer, you make sure you erase the background. All right, so I didn't scale it down or anything. You want to keep it the same exact size, okay? And what I did was I went Image, Adjustments, or Image Rotation, and then flip canvas horizontal, right? And then dragged it back in. Okay, so now it's back in there. And then what I did was I went over here till you see these little arrows, turn it around just to get it to match up with your original. Around there, I guess. Does that look good? Like that, okay? And then went over here to opacity and decreased the opacity all the way down. Oops, not all the way down. I mean, pretty low, so it looks like a reflection. Okay? So I like everything in the position that it's in right now. Okay? There are two of these. I don't need this one. Okay. So I have the background layer, the 3D layer, which is just the name, and then the transparent layer or the reflection.